can't see Crotchy. Gotta be able to see Crotchy back there. Huh. Good morning, Shimei. I gotta bang the table. Bang the table. Ugh. Earthquake! Earthquake! That's right. A healthy breakfast. Good morning, Dan. How are you doing? It's Saturday. We're a little early, 2 minutes early. Doxinator reporting for duty. Good morning. I got some new speakers for my computer. So, for my laptop here. So I'm trying to improve the sound. We're working gradually to get everything improved. Hey, Rodney. I used to have huge fights with my sister. When we were little kids, my sister never chewed with her mouth. She always did this. And we'd be at dinner, and I'd go, Mom, Patty's chewing with her mouth open. Everybody says hello. You must eat with your mask on. That's right. I'm almost done. These are good. I'm going to thank Bubba and Mark H. for sending me all these chips. I still have a huge pile of them over there. So anyway, how's everybody doing this morning? Oh, no. Oh, good. I got my tea. I thought I forgot my tea this morning. That's right. Got the Camo Army shirt on today. Oh, I got an email from Noreen. I guess she's occupied this morning. That's right. She is busy gardening. So it's 9:30 exactly. That's right. Hey, folks, it's only YouTube, okay? Don't get your panties in a wad. It's just YouTube. Oh. Hey, Brett, locked and loaded in St. Louis. Good for you. I don't know if you can hear the rain. You probably can't with the computer going there. Anyway, that's our little theme song. Hey, Rick Petticord. Where are you? Laughlin, right? Laughlin, Nevada. These are good. And the president says these are healthy. He said that. He did I said, take your Regeneron and eat lots of cheese curls. I'm done, okay? All done. But I do have some of these too if I get hungry later in the show. My tzatziki. My Triscuit tzatzikis. Anyway, so how's everybody doing this morning? It is another Saturday. I'm getting tired of that music, so I will turn it off. It does get in your head. So I should have put. I kind of put Crotchy over there, and now I got to move everything over because we must have him in the shot because he's got his little Halloween decoration on there. I guess that's okay. Good morning, everybody. How's everybody doing? Let's see who we have here. NH Libra. Nice to see you here. Computer Chick Productions. That's right. I got to do some potato chip mukbangs. Holy cow! What a nice way to start off the morning. Jeepers creepers. Thank you, Brenda. Wow. All right. Well, I guess I can go back to bed now. Aw, thank you, Brenda. Celebrating a birthday with my twin for October 12th. Wow. I've always wondered what it would be like to have a twin. If I had like a twin brother that looked and acted exactly like me. Now, I don't know. Are you identical twins? If I had, I don't know. If I had an identical twin brother that looked and acted exactly like me, or for the most part, I don't know, man. It is funny though when you're in I have had friends who have been twins, identical twins, and you can tell them apart. Once you get to know them, it's very easy just to look at them. Yes, this person is subtly different from that person. It's pretty easy once you when you know the person. But if you just kind of see them on the street, you're kind of like, yeah. Wow, thank you, Brenda. I do have a twin. Who is it, Computer Chick? Who's my twin? People say that. I'll be in like someone will go, you look exactly like my brother, or I have a friend that looks exactly like you. Halo Man 373, remember me? No, I don't. Halo Man, who might you be? Beverly Steer, good morning. Good morning. Yes, how's everything up in New Jersey? At least you're not getting any rain this morning here. We got a kind of a rainy morning here in Western North Carolina. We're not getting it's just rain. It's just going to be I wish it was going to rain. It would rain on the weekdays and not on the weekends because I like sunny Saturdays, And there was what was it, summer of 2019 up in the DC area when I was up there. I think every Saturday that summer it rained. Every Saturday. And it wasn't just light rain. It was pouring torrential rain. Oh, thank you. You subscribed to me. Thank you, Halo Man. Hello, man. Ziggy with it. How you doing, Ziggy? How'd you weather the storm okay? Ziggy's down in Louisiana there. You doing all right? Did you go out and play disc golf in the middle of the hurricane there? Man, I hope everybody's okay. East Texas, Louisiana, I guess parts of Arkansas now are getting some of the winds and rain. Mississippi, moving up into Tennessee. Man, it's weird this year how every hurricane goes to the same place. Those poor people that live, from Mobile over to Houston there, New Orleans, Biloxi, Pensacola, that whole zone there, especially Louisiana. Every storm just goes right. It's like a magnet. It's like the government is steering the storms to one area constantly. Isn't that weird? Oh, they canceled your tournament. Yeah, Ziggy. If you're doing the disc golf and your disc gets picked up, your frisbee, whatever they call them, gets picked up by those winds, you could go a mile or something, How many money you earn from all your stream? Oh, yeah. I do want to say, though, everybody on YouTube this year has had a reduction in earnings from their AdSense and all that. And I really appreciate the kind donations folks make during these live streams. Yeah, but again, it's up to you. You can watch them, enjoy, and have fun with us. No paywalls here on the Dave channel. And I'm watching. Doxinator is watching you. The Doxy Cup. I should get a merch channel up. I've never done the merch thing. We should have like Doxinator shirts or we could have a whole Doxinator line of merchandise. He'd probably charge me licensing fees for it though. Yeah, the weather is controlled and manipulated. I wonder, I do. One of the things I do on my channel, one of the things I do on YouTube, I watch a lot of channels I don't talk about because you guys want to hear about the Nomads. And sometimes I will do a video where I'll talk about other stuff I'm watching. But I do watch a lot of these conspiracy science-y channels, Suspicious Observers. I watch them. There was a channel, I've been watching a bunch of other interesting channels. But apparently somebody was taking some sort of satellite image or something the other day, and they found these straight lines going from like Florida to Tennessee and Louisiana to Oklahoma. And they were talking about maybe some sort of weird laser experiments that the military's doing. I like to watch stuff like that. It's really interesting. I like to watch stuff like that. It's really interesting. I like to watch stuff like that. It's really interesting. So I do watch a lot of weird things like that. And I just find it fascinating. I like Scott Manley and all of his space video stuff, and satellites and Apollo, and yeah, I love watch Scott Manley. He's a manly guy, Scott Manley. I watch him. I think he's out near Rosie, isn't he? He's somewhere in Napa Valley. I think even though he's Scottish, he is living. I think he lives in the States, right? So anyway, no damage except for a bunch of twigs in the yard. Power has been out for over 12 hours now. Oh, Ziggy, so you can do your internet and all that stuff without your power on? That's good. Bye-bye, Dave. I have to say, stay safe. Thank you, Hello Man. I appreciate you stopping by. Jelly cup. Yeah, I should have some jelly cups. We need some Tanky Poo cups. We could have some tank shirts. Jelly tank. They've been doing that for years, especially for warfare. Yeah, NH Libra, I'm sure they have. They were talking about how they have these secret military bases. A lot of them are at like regular airports. There's like a weird hangar over there on the far side where they're doing all these weird military experiments. Chemtrails to block out the sun. Yeah. Oh, you're on your phone. Yeah. What I find when you have like a big power outage in an area, I find that the cell, it's hard to get a cell signal. Sometimes the cell towers go out. Sometimes people are all calling everybody to talk about the power outage. When I was in Northern Virginia, we'd have a snowstorm, and our power didn't usually go out, but it would knock out a lot of power in the area. It was very hard to make a call on your phone. They would just give you that. I get that even here in the afternoons. Error messages. When you try to make a phone call in Northern Virginia during rush hour or the normal rush hour days before the pandemic, it would often be very hard to make a call. But anyway, so it's good that you could get through there, Zig. Chemtrails work in tandem with HAARP, HAARP, the facility that controls our area is located in Alaska. Ooh, I don't necessarily believe a lot of that stuff, but I do enjoy reading about it. It's interesting, isn't it? All the crazy stuff. 16 days. Hey, Bandit, the Nomad Pug. Nice to see you here. No, good. I'm glad to hear that. I am very, very glad to hear that. That's very good news, Bandit. 42 people totally healthy. I'm good. I just, hey, I feel sorry that folks just can't party and have a good time this year because it looked like that party was a wild, crazy thing. It would have been a lot of fun to go to. Have a couple of adult beverages and just kind of wackadoodle it. It looked like I watched Aja's video yesterday, and it looked like a fun time. And all the more power to you guys. But yeah, you just worry about people these days, where you watch the news and they had a wedding reception, and 50 people were there, and half them got sick. So I'm glad you guys too are probably out and about. You're not in lots of social crowds and cities and stuff like that where you pick it up. So, probably a pretty safe place to be out there in good old Williams, Arizona. But you gotta wonder. Ed and Sue. That's right. I can never remember the Ed and Sue. I got to remember Ed and Sue. All these channels where people have their, YouTube names, and I'm always like, it's the fancy happy camper, and then I'm like, what's his name? Yeah, Bill. Oh yeah, whatever. Hey, Daniel from Quebec. How are you doing? Quebec. Daniel from Quebec. Anyway, nice to see our Canadian friends as always. Mr. Muskie 63, hello. Gregory John. Dr. Hannah Straight is a pharmacist. Yes, somebody was telling me that her husband does the camera work. I'm enjoying it. My friend Rocky in Portland recommended her, and then my Doxinator also recommended her. We're trying to branch out and cover more channels, And I subscribe to hundreds of people now in the Nomad world, so I'm just trying to mix it all up and bring you the latest and the greatest. NH Libra is the new NH New Hampshire. What? Oh, man. They're releasing reports a little at a time, finally admitted to it. Yeah, it's amazing how many people are on YouTube that have all this scientific knowledge and are really on, it's amazing. It's just crazy. Hey, what's up, Daniel? Let other people control your channel, says Katie Ray. Yeah, I deleted a video yesterday. I don't know. There are certain nomads that have been around for a long time on YouTube, okay? They're not novices. They've been on YouTube for 5, 6, 7 years. They know social media. They know all this stuff about everything. And then they keep making like goofy mistakes. Like, I don't know. As I said in my little addendum video yesterday, very simply, if you don't want anyone to know about it, don't put it on YouTube. Don't put it on any other social media platform, okay? I think some people have this belief that somehow Patreon is different, that, you have to pay to see it, right? You have to pay to see Patreon. Yes, you do. There are a lot of, you have to pay to get on people's Twitch channels. You have to pay, there are pay things all over the place in social media. But the thing is that it's still social media, okay? And you don't know, okay, so people can pay $5, whatever, to get on your little tier on Patreon. You don't know who those people are. You don't know what they're doing with the information they see there. Then you put up information that you don't want everybody to know about, and then some people share that. It's copy and paste, send an email. Just because it's behind a paywall doesn't mean people aren't sharing it all over the place. And the fact that some of these nomads don't quite understand that is like, really? Thank you, Shimei. If you want to shoot some money over, paypal.me/DCODV. I do appreciate it. All my don't, again, if you want to help support the channel, I appreciate that very greatly. Mikey is a lib. I don't think he's a liberal. I really don't think it. I honestly think that the vast majority of YouTubers that I cover tend to lean to the right. That's just my thing. And that's cool. I don't have a problem with that. It's just, I do think that I think a lot of the YouTubers why do people get on the road and live by themselves and go, okay, there's kind of that, I can do it all spirit. I don't know. Hashtag wake up to the new world order. I stopped watching the TV, David. That's the problem, brother. I could easily do without television. I've done without television for many years, and I'm fine with it, That as far as Katie Ray is saying, other people controlling my channel, if people come to me with a problem, I did mention where who was at the moment, okay? And he needs to be more careful. Don't even put it in your Patreon channel, okay? Don't put posts on Patreon telling you if he doesn't want people to know where he is, and I understand the security factor of that, then don't put it on even in your Patreon channel, because, I get emails all the time. Hey, did you see someone's Patreon? Here's what they said there. Here's what they said there. I'm not asking for that information. I do not solicit it, but people send it to me all the time, So I don't know. If somebody has a problem with one of my videos, let me know. The other thing I don't like either, if you have a problem with a video of mine, problem with a comment, just send me an email, camo@gmx.com, or text me at 571-419-0463, and I'll take a look at it, I'll review it, and I'll, in many cases, I'll fix the problem or correct it or drop it or whatever you want me to do. I'm very open about that. But one thing that I find really annoying about people is how they have to, grandstand. And, oh, I sent Camo Dave a message and what a rotten person he is and how his channel's all screwed up. And then they have to put that little nasty email, make it public on their channel. That's kind of tacky. I mean, you can do that if you want, but rather than just quietly bring me the problem you have, I have to generate support against Dave. I don't know, man. People are strange, and it is true also that there's so many people out there that are just so wrapped up and angry. Hi, beautiful Shimei, my gorgeous queen. God. You know what, Mr. Lusky? I say no to all the cable news. I can't stand cable news, and I don't care whether it's Fox or CNN or MSNBC or whatever. I find them all just incredibly irritating. Go away. I don't like any cable news networks. I go to CNN.com and FoxNews.com. I like to check out what everybody's covering. I find those networks, I think they used to be good. Now they're just political hypesters and they're boring and I don't know. Van City Adventure, if you post it. Yes, Van City. If you post it on social media, whether it's behind a paywall or not, and then you complain when people are spreading the word, duh. Jeez. You post, oh, I live at so-and-so address and I'm leaving my doors unlocked, but I'm only putting this on my Patreon channel, so don't you ever spread the word. Jeez. I don't know, man. Don't, and then it gets out, and I figure, okay, if you put it on your Patreon channel and you're telling all your Patreon people, which could be thousands of people, right, or hundreds of people, I figure, okay, you don't care that it's out there, right? Hey, Robert the Traveler, checking in. I am hearing the virus is getting bad in Toronto. Yeah, I was watching the news. If you believe the news, if you believe it, they were saying that they're seeing another wave of infections in the Northeast now, and a lot of the European countries are seeing an uptick on them too. I don't know, man. Believe what you want to believe. Only one army in the Boit, and that is the Boger Army. Yeah, where's Mr. Boger? We haven't heard from Mr. Boga, C.R. Boger. He mysteriously went disappearing this past week. Every week somebody goes away. We had Elvis go away. Now we've got Boger gone away. I don't know. The Boga Army. The Camo Army. Some of these YouTubers, though, from what I hear, think the Camo Army is like meanies. We're mean. But no, we're not. We are peace, love, and understanding, okay? Yeah, that's true, Dan. I think a lot of the Canadians that want to come down for the winter there in places like Quartzsite will not be able to do it. It looks like the restrictions are going to be probably up through the end of the year. I don't know. We were talking to, there's a number of Canadians that want to go down to Quartzsite for in January and stuff, and they're still wondering if they're going to be able to bring their vehicles across the border. I don't know. It's a good question. And, things change so much. King Kino. I think you're right. I think that would probably chill him out a little bit. And again, Gregory John, you're absolutely right. If you kind of want to not let people bother you, you plaster your name all over your vehicle, and then you complain about people bothering you and knowing your location. If you really want to keep your location, and I do understand that, if you are, I totally understand why you want to keep your current location a secret, because you don't want to get bothered. There are people out there, as I always said, there's 1% of people that just love you and love everything you do. And there's 1% of the people that just hate everything you do. And, if you don't want to be bothered, you want to be able to camp without everybody knowing where you are. And it's true. If you plaster your name, put your picture all over your vehicle, it's kind of hard to do that. So, yeah, and then they get mad at me. People do that all the time. I get emails all the time. Oh, I just saw a Nomadic Fanatic and he's parked so-and-so. All right, that's, they send me a picture. There he is parked in some little town. I usually don't report that because I'm not gonna. I don't want him to get bothered by strangers, but they know it's him because it's got its name all over the vehicle. I don't know. With people being together in Williams, really is not the problem. It's where they go after that's the problem. Open land, Sydney. Yeah. I don't know. This V thing is so complex because so many people get the V and don't even know they have it and they spread it. Okay. And again, it is true that a lot of people get very, very mild symptoms and some people don't. And, I don't know. It's a weird thing. Usually when you have the flu, it's pretty obvious. A normal case of the flu, you have it. You got the fever. You feel like crap. But this thing is weird because it affects people in so many different ways. And it's very easy to spread because so many people get very mild cases of it, spread it, and then other people get serious cases of it. I don't know. My philosophy is just err on the side of caution, What's the big deal, Daniel from keeping myself and my rig ready to head to Arizona if the borders are open to Canadians. Daniel from Quebec. Yeah. Camo Dave gave NF the Baba Booey. I don't know. Again, people like NF and some other nomads, they should know the rules. They should know what's going on. If you have a Patreon channel and you don't want people to know stuff outside of Patreon, you can't. Okay. Rule number 2, do not trust anyone with information. Okay. Don't give it to, I've done that too. I give it to some good friends and then it's all over the place. So don't tell anybody. And plus you have good friends that turn on you. So that happens all the time. Hey, Brian, how are you doing? In Bronx, New York. He's BW Farm Vids. He's a rolling billboard. Yeah, well, he is. And he said, and I even asked him that. Remember, he had a question and answer thing a while ago. And I said, do you have problems with having your name plastered all over your vehicle? And he said, no, that's fine. I don't care. I don't know. Toronto is shutting down. Oh, dear. What is Chrome Van City Van Life? I know he got his vehicle the build there done. Is he still in Toronto? I don't know. He might have some difficulty if I don't know. Somebody said he's planning to spend the winter in Ontario. If he does, that's kind of a cold winter for him because it gets cold in Ontario in the winter. Snowy. It's a very chilly place. And if he's going to be heading back to Vancouver, which is relatively warm, there's probably, if you look at meteorology, if you look at weather forecasting, that's the warmest place in Canada in the winter is Vancouver. So I would think he still has a way to go across the mountains. Now, we don't know. These videos that he's shooting are already a month old, and he's probably already back there. So who knows? Baba Booey. Howard Stern just signed a huge deal for, I don't know, with Sirius XM for somebody said billions. It's actually millions of dollars. So we're going to have more Howard Stern. Most Canadians are not in any rush to have the borders open. That's right, because then you got all the people from here going up there. Although that won't happen this time of the year because people are usually flocking to warmer climes in the fall and into winter. So, but yeah, the summer, yeah. No, they had a problem with it all summer. Nomadic Fanatics he's had a problem with styes. I don't know. I used to, when I was a kid, one of the things I loved to do was go outside and build cities in the dirt. I did that a lot. There'd be a mud patch in the backyard or in a park, and I would actually make little roads and I'd make little cities. I liked playing in the dirt when I was a kid. And you rub your eye and you get, I had a lot of styes and eye infections when I was a kid. I don't know. It could be the cat too. He might have a mild allergy to a cat, it makes his eyes itch. And at night he rubs his eyes and he gets styes. That's Dr. Dave. That's my theory. My theory says he's not heavily, but a lot of people have a mild allergy to cat hair, cat dander, and it makes his eyes a little itchy, right? And then when he's not thinking about it, he's rubbing his eyes, and he doesn't have his hands super clean, and he gets a little bit of dirt in his eyes, and then he gets styes. That is my philosophy. So I think probably you should get rid of Jax, and then his styes will go away. That's my theory. We trust you. Gus in a bus is easy to spot, but he's gone radio silent lately. I think he's depressed that he's stuck in Canada. Same goes for Slim Potato Head, stuck in Canada. Going to be tough for him to travel in the winter. Dan Brown. Gus just popped up with another video the other day. But I do think some of the nomads that, I think, I don't know about Slim, because his current videos are the Yukon. We don't know where he is right now. But I do think some of those Canadian nomads that like to come down to the States, like Slim Potato Head, like Gus, you can't do it this year. I don't know. I do know that if Mr. Biden wins the presidency, there will be a permanent ban on Line Screw 1 coming to the States. He's going to try to come to the States to fill up his vehicle with cheap gas over there up there in Washington State, and they're going to say, Mr. Line Screw, I'm sorry, but the new president has issued a permanent ban on you coming to this country. We got to do that. We got to do the when we do the. I'm going to do the Camo Awards, whether Aaron wants to do them or not this year. So we won't have a great production, but I'm going to do them, and one of the categories is going to be the Canadian. The Canadian nomads that would most likely like to be Americans. A crotch shot. Yeah, I'm not going to move. I don't move the computer around while I'm doing the chats. I'll do a crotch shot for you. I'll shout you out, King Kino, on the afternoon show. Yeah, Robert the Traveler. It's if your eyes itch, you're going to want to scratch them. And even, it's hard to resist the temptation, especially at night. You lay in bed at night and your eyes are itching and you just you rub them without even knowing it, and you get styes, Yeah, I know he's not going to get rid of Jax, Aquatic Slave. Aquatics Live. I just was joking. I'm sure he will not. He loves that cat more than anything else, and there will be no way he'll put up these styes. But I probably think that that is maybe he has Jax up on his lap, and Jax has some dirt on his paws, and maybe he gets the dirt and rubs it into his eyes. I don't know. It's something like that, though. Dave's still playing in the dirt. We had when I was living in West Deptford, New Jersey, when I guess it was about 10, 11, 12, we had a cemetery behind our house. And they would dig graves, and then they would take the dirt from the graves and make little mounds on the very edge of the cemetery back where our property was. And there'd be all these dirt mounds back there, okay? And that's where I played. I loved that. It was like little mountains, and I'd go back there and make little mountainous roads and build little villages in the dirt. I did that. It was kind of fun. I'm still playing in the dirt. Good morning, Betty. I was joking. Betty. I don't think Jax will ever get rid of Eric. No. No, I was joking, but I think that having the pet, and he probably has a mild allergy to the cat dander, and it causes him to scratch his eyes. Chicken Scratch Travels, Scratch. Canadians at all their self-quarantines have become too much for me. I watch Slim every now and then, but he's pretty boring up there now. Yeah, he's driving around. Where was he up in Yukon, right? You got just a lot of mud. All the roads are very muddy up there. Should foreigners get free camping at equivalent rates of U.S. citizens? Colleges ask a premium for non-citizens. Wow. David A. USB dude. YouTube dude. Oh, YouTube dude. How about starting the morning with a warm plate of thumbs ups? That's right. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up button there. I'm the TMZ. That's what I kind of like to do that, I'm the TMZ. I don't know. I have a short attention span. I probably have ADHD. I'm kind of dyslexic. I'm just a real hyper kind of I don't know. That's just my personality. Like, I got 4 things going at once and I never get all 4 things done. You know what I'm saying? I will actually do that sometimes. I'll have multiple YouTube videos playing on different machines here, and I'm like, I don't know. Joe Biden called me his husband. Sandy, a lot of businesses in the States depend on Canadian spending money and vice versa. Tourism's been really hurt. I live a lot of British Columbia. A lot of their, money in British Columbia comes from people in America coming up to British Columbia and looking at the gorgeous scenery and camping and hiking. And that's all gone this year, and the same thing with Canadians coming down to America, Florida. A lot of those folks that sunbird in Florida and Arizona are Canadians, and they're not coming this year. It's sad, Now, they can still come, David. You can still cross the border. I mean, you could lie to them and tell them you have business, but the other way you could do it pretty easily is to fly. There's, just I'm going to visit my Aunt Minnie in San Diego, and then you get on an airplane in Vancouver, fly to San Diego, and then you go and rent a van or vehicle or something, and then you go to Quartzsite and camp for a while. You can still do that. I don't think the Americans are quite as fussy about that as the Canadians are. If there's an American going up to Canada and if I heard this, the Canadian Mounties or whatever, and the local police there in British Columbia, if they go to parks in Canada, and if they see American plates, they'll just stick like $1,200 tickets on the cars. I don't think you'll find too many cops in America doing that to Canadians. But, I don't know, man. You watch YouTube on double speed besides Dave Live. I do that with Casey Roman. I always she does, her videos aren't bad. She does talk about interesting things about nomadic life and financing and all this other stuff. But, it's like, oh, my God, an hour and a half. If I put it on double speed, it's only 40 minutes or so. Man. Thank you, Fishing and Picking. Mark H. Dave goes politics again. Well, okay, we're not doing politics, but the election is 3 weeks away. So, my guess for NF and the cat, I will add the combo in that he needs to wash his bedding more. I have a cat. Yeah, you're very right. And if you don't wash your blanket at least once a month, I start getting allergy symptoms. That's very true. Got to keep your bedding clean, and it is true. I noticed that when Tank's around, when I was hanging out with Tank a lot, when I was living there, the dog shed and the gets over the place, and you do get sometimes a mild allergic reaction to some of that, and it gets on your bedding. Yes. It's his hygiene. Yeah. And you're not taking showers all the time. You really, if you're living in your vehicle, things that collect on your hands and in your, I just say, that's probably it. It's probably it. That's the symptom. Did camper van Kevin have his dog's lives threatened? I hope not. Who would be the sicko to do that? Oh, man, I try to stop watching Kevin all the time. Oh, I'm tired of watching Kevin. But I just have to keep watching because I love those dogs. They're so adorable. Why would anybody get mad enough to do any of that? It's YouTube, folks. This is just entertainment. Now, we make fun of it because it's my silly channel here. Look at him. Oh, he's e-begging. Look at him. The van's breaking down again. Oh, look at him. He's dating so-and-so, and they're having fun, and she's running around in her Daisy Dukes. And, we're trying to laugh at it and have fun with it. Why do people get so angry? Oh, my lights are better than his lights. It's like, I heard that the other day. This other guy, he's like a studio, and he's like bragging about how his lights are better than my lights. And I'm like, okay, this is an adult human being. He's like angry because I'm doing lights and he has lights too. And then he goes, my lights are better than his. And I'm like, really? Okay. Write this on it. I am an adult human being, and Jeez. Anyone coming into Nova Scotia, province of Canada, have to go to self-quarantine for 2 weeks. That's the reason we have only 3 active cases. Wow. I would say places like Nova Scotia are fairly isolated. You probably don't have and again, that's another place where you're probably losing a lot of tourist money because a lot of people that come up to, especially in the summertime, they're not going to go to Nova Scotia in the winter. But yeah, you're probably losing a lot of tourist money from, Americans love to go to Nova Scotia. It's beautiful up there. Whoa here. Americans are given a 3-day pass to get from Washington to Alaska. If they don't get there in 3 days, they will give them a ticket for $1,200 to $1,500. I saw that. Yeah. You can go into Canada to drive to Alaska, but you have to do it in 3 days. And you can stay overnight a couple nights in like hotels or motels or camping, but you have to get on the road and get there. You're right. You should wash your bedding every week. Well, especially if you have a pet. I think if you have especially a cat that crawls around all over everything, and if you do have getting styes a lot, it's probably a good idea to do that. He posted it on Facebook. Oh, did he? Did Kevin? That's awful. What? That's got to be a truly sick person that would do that. I'll have to check that out. That's maybe worthy of a report. CVK Dogs Facebook. I'll write that down. Again. It's the height factor, okay? People say horrible things about me in some of other people's chats. Some of these troll channels say horrible crap about me. And I realize that 99.9% of that is just harmless garbage, okay? It is. I get horrible stuff said about me all the time. Okay. And the fact that you promote that or say it or mention it in other channels or on your channel or on your Facebook channel only kind of in a weird way encourages it. You know what I'm saying? Yes, there are going to be some sickos out there that are going to threaten a Nomad's pets. All right, you got to realize that 1% of people are sickos and they're going to write stuff like that. But you got to also realize the vast majority of that stuff is just crap. And just stay safe, keep it quiet. But then you start posting it on social media. My dogs have been threatened or I've been threatened or whatever. All it does is make it worse, okay? Keep it quiet. Or maybe I'm going to try to get views from that. I don't know. Keep it quiet. Some of these nomads do that. They want to generate some. I'm not saying Kevin's doing that by any means, but I'm saying some of these nomads like to hype the scary stuff just to get the sympathy factor out of it. Nonviolent camo army sucks. There goes my plans to kidnap a pet cat. No. Do not kidnap anybody's pet cat or dog. We are totally against that. We are totally against anybody threatening anybody. We are totally against anybody doxing anybody. But, I don't know, maybe the camo army, the troll army. Yeah, I don't know. I'm glad the Americans are still allowed to go through. I heard some of that were supposed to, Banff. Thoughts on HHH? Who's HHH? Hubert Horatio Humphrey, who ran for president in 1968. I think he lost, didn't he, against Richard Nixon? HHH. Those are my grandfather's initials, by the way. I don't know who's HHH. RV rentals won't rent to people with foreign driver's licenses. Yeah. I mean, they could get in trouble, I guess. You could get in trouble for that. Good morning, Patty. How are you there? The boy just went crazy. It's been crazy for quite a long time now. Renee. Just kidding. Human nature, again, you can see this in politics. You can see this on YouTube. A lot of people, in their head, A lot of your problems are created by yourself, okay? You get mad at the world around you. I'm going to sound like Dr. Phil here. A lot of the people, I can't do a Texas, but a lot of the people in the world around you that you blame for all your problems, the problem's right up here. It's how you see the world and how you react to it. And you create the situations that trap you in life. You know, I'm Dr. Phil, Dr. Camo Phil. I do not promote the hate. Coach Sheets. We promote kindness and love. Arizona is hurting from the Canadians, but 200 Californians are moving here every day. Yeah. Well, that's a problem here in North Carolina for a lot of folks. North Carolina is a big state. If you're from New York and Pennsylvania and New England and you're retiring and you want to come to a nice location with lower taxes and a better climate, a lot of folks are coming down to North Carolina. Okay. A lot of people, a lot of people are coming to North Carolina from the Northeast. Okay. They don't want to go to Florida because number one, it's too humid in the summer. They have hurricanes there that are really bad. The taxes are getting up there. It's getting too congested, too urbanized. It's hard to camp and do stuff there because it's just so crowded now. So a lot of the retirees, a lot of older folks, a lot of middle-aged folks just want to get away from the craziness of the urban America. They're coming to North Carolina, you know, and this state is a rapidly changing state politically and in many other respects. Sorry, Mark H. I didn't want to bring that in, but it is true. And it's the same thing with Arizona. Same thing with Nevada. You know, a lot of the people living in Nevada now and Arizona are Californians that are just tired of living in California, and they bring with them their politics, you know. It's just the way it works. The hotline, yeah. Call the 571-419-0463. Anybody want to call the hotline? I got my phone right here. Say hello to you. I do not take blocked calls. Sometimes it's all staged reviews, friends 1 minute. And yeah. Then the other thing is too, people want to have, you know, they try to hype up, you know, disputes with people just to get their views up, you know. My friend moved from North Carolina, to North Carolina from Minnesota, and she loves it. Yeah. Oh yeah. And again, the winters here, if you don't like cold, snowy winters, you're going to like North Carolina compared to Minnesota. Okay. It's just, you know, the one thing as getting older, the one thing I really, 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 really hated, even about the Washington, D.C. area, was how cold and miserable the winters could be. They're not always bad. I sound more like Dr. Demento. Remember Dr. Demento? Oh, my God. The old days, WHFS, Progressive Rock in Washington, D.C. I mean, every Sunday night, the Dr. Demento show. And you play all these, like, weird kind of, what do you call it? You know, monster. Remember he'd do Monster Mash. Is this the Monster Mash? He'd play all these weird specialty oddball songs. He went for oddball stuff, really oddball. Dave, have you ever heard of the Coyote Works channel? He does off-roading and camping in his Jeep. No, John. Again, if you want me to cover a channel, the best way to do it is just send me a link or send me the name of the channel at camodave@gmx.com and put recommended channel. People send me stuff all the time, and I do click on things and sometimes subscribe to them and check them out. Send me a link, camodave@gmx.com to the channel. I will not, you know, I could write it down here, but I'm just too lazy to do that right now. Sometimes it's all staged. Yeah. People want to have fights with people because it gets their views up. I get that all the time. Somebody's trying to pick a fight with Dave. Oh, Dave is horrible. And I don't know how many times somebody we don't mention will mention me in her videos. And then I get all these people coming over to see how horrible I am. And then they suddenly realize that I'm not that bad. That I'm kind of a funny guy. And I get 75 new subs. So, you know, whatever. I'll tell everyone right now I'm at home, but don't repeat it, Dave. Aloha, Mike. Well, where are you, in Hawaii? I'm going to get on a plane right now to Hawaii, and I'm going to find out where you live. I spent a year in North Carolina, Fort Bragg. Love the people and the scenery. Yeah. Living Free should have went to Panda's place, Sue Peters. Yeah, I don't know if he was invited. I don't know. Maybe he wasn't invited. We did see Tina there, And we didn't see Butterfly Gypsy there. They seem to be bosom buddies these days. So there were a lot of people, I think, that just came up for the party, right? Speaking about North Carolina, David A., it's a big state. It's a huge state, east to west especially. And, eastern North Carolina is, I am actually here as close to the D.C. area as I am to eastern North Carolina. Restricted, not taking restricted calls. I don't do that. Dave, would you think you would be welcome at Panda with open arms? And then they'd crush me. Oh, Dave, it's so nice to see you. Let me give you a hug. Forrest Stinnett. I am traveling in Texas right now. I'm planning on going to Arizona soon and staying for a couple months. Well, good for you, Forrest. It's nice to see people still traveling around today despite all the craziness. It's nice to see that. We should nickname someone you don't mention the Baconator. I like that, Brad. The Baconator. Wasn't there a Wendy's? Isn't there something at Wendy's? Didn't they have a Baconator a hamburger? Oh, it's King. Okay, King Kino. Call me again. Now that I know it's you, I'll answer the call. King Kino. Call back. We'll talk to King Kino. Cochise. There's always a comparison of subscribers to his. They do better because they're positive. Okay, all right. Supposedly this is King Kino. King Kino. Hello, King Kino.
What's going on, Dave? How you been? Good to see you. You're looking great. We just want to say we support you.
Thank
do
you.
Everything for you. You're a legend. You're an icon in the business.
Thank you. I appreciate that, King Kino.
Yeah, and just we can't say it enough. You are really the driving force of everything. You call the bullshit when it needs to say.
All right.
You are the man, and I won't waste any more of your time, but thank you so much for taking this call. Thanks for being the legend, the icon, the one and only. Thank you, Camo Dave.
All right, King Kino. I appreciate that. Bye.
Bye.
You sounded a little like Into the Mystery Jed, didn't it? Had that sound. The voice sounded a little bit like him. I wonder if that's him. I didn't want me to know that. Hi, Vivi. How's that? Oh, poor doggy. Oh, they should get another dog. Anyway. Hi, Antoinette Akers. She who we don't talk about was there. Oh, yes, she was. But I didn't see a lot of her in Aja's video. She was kind of in and out real fast. Yeah, I don't know. Everybody is looking at Aja's video of the party there and kind of now, who do we see a lot of and who do we not see a lot of? I don't know. Everybody's talking about it, and then they go, who it is we don't talk about. She left first thing the next morning. What was up with that? I don't know. They took out the big traffic circle on Bragg Boulevard and put in traffic lights and a plus pattern. Too many accidents. Oh, okay. We're talking about traffic in traffic. Oh, man. At the end of the day, they will all have Dave mention their channel. They will deny it. Yes, Sandy, people like me most times people like me mentioning their channels. And there are some people, I think Mr. Rob there of Little House Off Grid does not like me mentioning his channel. He really gets upset when I talk about him. Okay. I'm like, why are you even on YouTube then? If you're putting all your stuff on YouTube for all these strange people to talk about, then why do you get worried when Dave talks about you? And I'm not going to say I helped him build his channel, but I probably got him some subs. And he really gets PO'd when I do that. So I don't know. So I just kind of said, I don't know. I got plenty of other people talking about. Diabolical Dave Svengali for us YouTube shut-ins. I love the hamburgers at the bowling alley. God, I haven't been to a bowling alley since I was a kid. We used to have the last time I went bowling, I was probably like 10 years old. When you get off your butt, you can drive from Sunset Beach, North Carolina to False Cape. I work on foghorns and lights on the East Coast. Really? when I was a kid, South Jersey, West Deptford Township is right on the Delaware River, and there's a lot of big boats that go up and down the Delaware River, up in the ports in Philadelphia and stuff. And we'd hear fog on a foggy morning. Yeah, you're all that weird. Oh, Betty B.J. Smith, because of the virus, Audrey could have only 50 people at her party. Okay. Well, I hope, as I say, I am concerned. I voice my concerns about gatherings of nomads in this day and age. And, I think if nobody came away with the V 2 weeks later, I'm very happy. And I also think they were very lucky. I personally, how would you feel if somebody that's an older nomad got the V and got very sick from it because they were at your party? I wouldn't want to have to live with that potential. You know what I'm saying? It's taking a risk. That's all I'm saying. I subscribe to several channels that I would never have known about if I hadn't watched Dave. That's very true, Betty. I can talk about Danny Lee Ingram, and I do occasionally, Danny. Rob needs to go back and manage the sheltered workshop. We get a lot of fog here in Western North Carolina. I noticed that, especially on a lot of mornings. I'd say maybe at least once a week, we'll have a really super foggy morning, and I kind of like that. Like inner foghorn leghorn, yeah. Oh man. Not a lot of social distancing and masks, I noticed, but it's not none of your business. It's your business if you see fellow human beings. I don't know. It just concerns me. That's all. I really think, as Bandit the Nomad Pug there, Ed said, nobody seems to have gotten sick now. It's been 2 weeks. I think that's a great thing. But they're taking a risk. That's all. They you take a risk. Sometimes you win. Sometimes you don't. That could have been it. Antoinette, face mask. They could have had a Halloween theme to the party and everybody's wearing a mask, They could have done that, Don't wear a mask. How many people have the non-maskers? I don't know, man. Tony Lee has blocked me on his channel. Who's Tony Lee? Put on your NF hoodie. I got it in there. I'm not going to put it on because it's too gosh darn hot, but I will, I'll show you. Oh, Crotchy. Say hi to everybody, Crotchy. Oh, yeah. Yeah, look at that. I can't get out of the picture. I don't want to make the illusion that I'm voicing him. Uh-oh. We just unplugged the computer. Oh, no. There we go.
Happy Halloween, everybody. Look at my beautiful Halloween decoration. Yes. How nice to see everybody there. Happy Halloween.
All right.
She used to be a police officer. Everybody likes Caravan Carolyn.
Enough of that. We're not having that song anymore.
Oh, Dave, I want to sing about her. I really do. Everybody loved her. She was a police officer, and everybody loved her. She's the queen of the Nomads.
He's something else. We should take out our rage on Billy Gates. I don't know. Your friend interviewed you interviewed Tony. Thanks for jabbing at. Thank you for your support, Brenda Stewart. Thank you, Brenda. Again, thank you for your kind donation. What is the latest on Wanna Be Elvis? Yeah, I haven't heard a word. There's that fake Elvis channel up there now. I'll get the. I don't know. I could get the. I'm gonna have to go through. You want to see the? I got the Nomadic Fanatic hoodie. I'll get that after the. It's a good reason for you to tune into the. The evening stream tonight. We'll get out the Nomadic Fanatic hoodie. It's in one of those trunks there, not to dig through there. Yeah, Danny's had, his sister passed away from the virus. Pete, that's happened to people. And how do they react to certain, there's a certain Nomad who's making jokes about the V, He's got a skeleton thing on the back of his vehicle with a funny little thing about the virus. What if you pull up behind the guy and you have your grandma, your sister, or friend of you's got it, got real sick, died from it? How does that make you feel? I mean, isn't that kind of weird? That's crotchy like Dave's lighting. Do you like it?
Yeah, Dave. You're better than that other guy.
Oh, thank you, crotchy. Rockford Epstein's mother. Is Rockford here? Hey, James Rockford. I got to go on the I got to go. I can't see I got to go see Mr. Rockford on the other channel here. Hold on. Oh, there I am. Camo Dave. Holding up my bag of cheese kernels. Hey, Mr. Rockford, how are you doing this morning? Epstein's mother? What? Foghorn Leghorn. Who else? It's actually easier to read the comments on this bigger screen. You should throw away the NF hoodie. Yeah, I don't know. I like it. It's kind of neat. Rockford money bags. Mr. Doxinator's Doxinator. Screw those non-maskers. I'm gone. Yeah, is it really that much trouble to wear a mask? Really, seriously. James Rockford, I see that. Thank you so much. Eric, the F, has no class at all. I don't know. He does seem to get a lot very ups. Another problem we have, and I think a lot of the nomads and a lot of the troll people, is anger management. I think a lot of folks just have a lot of difficulty managing all that anger, and they like to direct it to Dave. I don't know why. Jeez. I just saw that. Yes, I can see his donations if I'm signed in on my other channel over here. So thank you, Mr. Rockford. I do appreciate that. Sadly, it just makes it difficult for us to comply with the laws. In Germany, if you go without a mask, you have to pay a €50 fine the first time. Wow. Morning call from Mr. Tazzy Poo in Oregon. Hello, Tazmod. How are you doing?
Good morning.
Good morning.
We finally got our rain last night.
Oh.
So,
Well, good. You still got some fires burning out there?
yeah, not as bad as California, though.
Okay, very good. Good. I'm glad to hear that. We've gotten a lot of rain here today, and more rain tomorrow, too, from that hurricane, Delta, that's going to be pushing up the area. So it's going to be a wet it's going to be a chilly and wet weekend.
Yeah, I wanted to give a shout out to Tanky Pool.
Yeah, we didn't mention him yet. Tanky had to have some a little operation to remove a few tumors. I hope he's okay. I really do.
And a shout out to the wrenches, of course.
Okay.
And stuff. I ordered my new mask, the N95s.
Yeah.
A friend told me of a company in the States that sells them, so I should be getting them in about a week.
All right. Well, good for you, Tazzy. Good for you.
You guys take care.
All right. I'll chat with you later, Gator. Bye.
Okay. Bye-bye.
All right. Later, Gator. Oh, yeah. Michigan is not enforcing the masks. See, the governor almost got kidnapped. Woo. That's wild. Let's kidnap the governor of Michigan. Whoa. Stickers and more. Thank you. Camo Dave. Royal Theaters going out of business, I hear. Regal Theaters. Wow. Yeah, our movie theater here in Morganton just reopened yesterday. But they say they're not releasing any big movies right now because a lot of theaters are still closed, so they're renting like old movies. I was in Home Depot yesterday. 3 of 4 customer service associates were wearing masks under their nose. We saw, what did we see? Nancy Pelosi yesterday. I don't want to get into politics, but she had her mask dripped way down. And yeah, well, the mask must cover the nose too, folks. Hey, Camp Goer 1. She is busy getting ready to get on the road. Linda there in Phoenix. She is she had her vehicle into the service bay the other day, and she's getting it all painted up and fixed up, and she's going to be hitting the road really soon. So go over and check her out, subscribe to her channel, because she's going to have some cool content. And she may even come to North Carolina sometime. She said that, so good for you. Nice to see you here, Linda. My son is in grade 3 and is the only one in his class that wears a mask by his choice. Yeah, I don't know, man. It's crazy. Sue, Kelly, Brandon, nice to see you all here. Hey, anybody else I haven't shouted out? I am Gene. No Fear to Trek. Nice to see you here. Antoinette, King Kino, we just talked to. No Fear to Trek. Checking in late, slept in with the boat rocking in the wind and rain pattering on the deck. Even a rainy day, life is wonderful. You know, I'm like that. I don't know, man. I wake up in the morning and go, oh, crap, it's rainy and dark out there. Oh, no, it's a beautiful rainy day. I'm going to go out and play in the rain. What is it? What is it? Rain, 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 another day. Little Davy wants to go out and play. I'm worried about what people have touched. Yeah. I don't know, man. Many mouth breathers wear masks under their nose. I'm kind of a mouth breather. People look at me. Hi there. Such a difference. Oh, yeah, that's right. Do you get that feeling? I don't usually paint my car too often, but I do when I clean the car. Like I get the inside cleaned out and I get the outside cleaned, and I get my little, put my Daisy Dukes, my camo Daisy Dukes on, and I go out and scrub the car down. Doesn't it make it feel like the car runs better? Even though you haven't done a damn thing to the engine, a clean car just feels like it runs better. Isn't that I've always thought that was a weird psychology. By the way, if you want to go on my Patreon channel, you can watch me washing a car. I'm shirtless wearing a camo Daisy Dukes. It's my $10 tier there on Todd Fuller. We did mention a little bit about NF this morning. I just said, as you know, if you don't want the information to get out, don't put it out anywhere on social media, even if it's behind a paywall. Do not assume that everything you put on Patreon is only going to stay on Patreon, because people can talk about it. They can cut and paste. They can do all this other stuff with it. That's right. That's very good, Doxy. Dave played in the dirt, and now he dishes the dirt. It's getting cold up in the mountains. I hope they have all the wood there ready at COVID Acres. Yeah. Well, so far, everybody's been good. There's been no cases of it reported from there, so I hope everybody's fine. I've always been someone who sneezed in my shirt and never spat. Oh, I hate people that do that. Excuse me. One of my pet peeves, I go out walking on, there's some asphalt trails in the park over here. Really nice to do it. But a lot of people have a habit of spitting when like runners do that. I guess when they're breathing real heavily, they're kind of working it up. And you see a lot of people that do riding, they'll cough a loogie up. Yeah, and it's like, and you're walking down the trail and you see these, a dog will vomit, or what is that? Ugh. Yeah, it's like, don't do that. Do not spit. Okay, that's not good. It's the thing. The other day I was in the Walmart and they had these white bags. Usually you have the gray bags, but this day they had the white bags and they don't open. I do the self-checkout. They will not open. They will not open. Yeah. And usually in a normal, you go, and then for some reason you can stick your hands in and it opens it up. But I got my mask on and I'm certainly not going to be spitting at the cash register there. It's not good. So it's like you're sitting there just literally trying to rip into the bag to get the damn thing open. Man, that was a pain. So do you the Doxinator. Oh. I cleaned the middle of my car up the other day, inside of my car, even cleaned the windows, and I think my car is afraid it's being replaced. Oh, your car thinks you're going to be putting it up for sale now because you've cleaned it up. Hey, John Sweet, how are you doing? It's funny when you're driving past somebody in their slack job mouth breathing. A lot of older people do that. The lady's asleep. And she's like, or you do that where you like drive past somebody and it looks like there's nobody driving the car and there's this tiny little lady there. She's like 4'2" and her eyeballs, her little head barely comes up above the dashboard, and you're like, there's no one driving that car. Down by the river, I shot my van. Wow, BJ Smith, that's intense. We will never make it out the other side because we think we are entitled and don't have to comply with, the end. How is the weather there, Campgoer One? Phoenix is cooling off. We're getting rain here today. Rainy weekend. Remains of that Hurricane Delta dawn. What's that flower you have on? Could it be a faded rose from days gone by? Helen Reddy passed away 2 weeks ago. I liked her. When I was a kid, I liked Helen Reddy. I don't know. When I was a kid, what did I listen to when I was growing up? This was in the early 70s. I was a big fan of David Bowie. I was a big fan of Aerosmith. I liked ELO a lot. I liked Helen Reddy. Elton John, of course. That was what I liked, yeah. Rod Stewart. I always liked Rod Stewart. Do you think I'm sexy? Come on, honey, let me know. Dude, that's a great song. Anyway. Helen. Oh, Helen. You liked Helen. Oh, Helen Reddy. Yeah, I was thinking of Helen Mirren. No, Helen Reddy, yeah. I always liked Helen. I took 2 printers and a computer to the electronics recycling yesterday. It must have been the season because there was a line, usually nobody there. Wow. Yeah, when I was moving, I was cleaning out my condo. This was back in April or so of 2017. And my sister rented a big truck and took a lot of my junk down to the county landfill. And yeah, there's like a big long line to get in. Yeah. And yeah, it's amazing. Saturday at the dump. What a nice politics-free chat. I like it. I'm getting multiple robocalls and text. Yeah, I get them too. I do not answer phone calls that I do not recognize. And then they don't leave you a message. So F them, Oh, Jim Dandy. Black Oak. Remember Jim Dandy to the rescue? I remember that. Rick Petticord. Hi, Jim Dandy. I put real Chipotles in. Oh, Todd Fuller. Ooh. Boy George. Boy Dave. I like Jefferson Starship when I don't know why, but I liked, I think one of the worst songs of all time is We Built This City. Go watch the video on YouTube sometime. It's just a horrible, stupid song. Listen to the lyrics. It's just garbage. I always liked Grace Slick, though. I love the Jefferson Airplane, but it was one of those bands that I liked. Now I look back on it and go, why did I like Jefferson Starship? Carole King. Carole King, You've Got a Friend. Rockin' Yodel Rockford. Hey, Ziggy. Let's check in with the Zig Man. Hello, Ziggy. What's up there in Louisiana?
Oh, I figured I'd give you a live update.
Yeah, right in the house. So your hurricane's pulled through, right? You're done with it, right?
Oh, yeah. If you look outside right now, it's so beautiful. You wouldn't believe anything even happened.
Wow. But is your power still out?
Yep, power's still out. I guess it's probably 14, 15 hours now.
Wow.
And see, I'm not even in the hard hit area. I don't know. I mean, I have no news or anything of the people that were directly hit, so I don't know how bad it hit them. They were only hit a month ago with Laura.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, that is true. Those damn hurricanes always hit that same area this year. It's really weird, isn't it? It's crazy.
Well, you know, back when Katrina hit, people didn't really hear the news about it. But a week after Katrina devastated New Orleans, Rita,
right. There was another. Yeah, you get a weather pattern that forms, and it just stays there and directs the storms in the same track over and over again. It is kind of weird.
Yeah, but you never hear about Rita. But Rita, like, completely obliterated the little town of Cameron.
Wow.
And the resort, the Cajun Riviera next door, which is also known as Holly Beach.
Wow. Yeah, I've heard of that. Holy cow. Well, I'm glad everything, your house was okay and everything. You didn't get any shingles ripped off the roof or anything, or trees down?
No, I have a bunch of very small branches in my yard. I went on a coffee search this morning, and the only thing within a couple of miles of me that had any power was the car wash.
Oh, that's important. The car wash has got power. Good. Like, people got to need their cars washed this morning after the hurricane, right? Wow.
Yeah, so then I continued my search and finally got to an area where there is power, and even though there was power, no place was open except the donut shop.
Oh, okay. Donuts and car washes. Wow.
Yeah.
All right, Ziggy. Well, listen, thanks for the update. Got to get back to the chat here. I do appreciate it. Give us, you take care, and I'll give you a call back later. All right.
Cool deal.
All right, Ziggy. Thanks for calling. Goodbye.
Bye.
Oh, do we have Go Frugal? Oh, yeah. I should have asked that. Does he know Go Frugal? I think Go Frugal's in Morgan City, right? Unstoppable Morgan City and Unstoppable Morganton. How long would it take to go from Unstoppable Morganton to Unstoppable Morgan City? I don't know. I think everybody remembers their childhood as being fun and frivolous and all that stuff. And yeah, I look back on it and go, I miss the big record shops. I used to go to like Tower Records and cool things like that. That was fun. I always think, radio was better back then. The culture was better. I don't know. The music was better. Yeah, I don't know. The Beatles, I was a huge Beatles fan. Yeah, I liked all the Beatles when they broke up. I liked John Lennon's stuff and McCartney and Wings, and I was a huge Beatles fan too. Yeah. I didn't get into the Beatles much until the later Beatles. It was about the White Album that I remember buying Penny Lane and some of the singles from Sgt. Pepper when I was a little kid. And then it wasn't until about Abbey Road and the White Album when they were just about ready to break up that I really heavily got into the Beatles. And then I kind of backtracked. I like all the later Beatles albums. There's a guy I watch. I can't think of his name. Parlophone something. That was the old record label they were on in England, Parlophone. There's a guy called Parlophone something that I watch, and he reviews all these old Beatles albums and repressings and stuff. I do enjoy watching that. When was the disco era? Disco was in the mid to late 70s, about 76, 77, 78, something like that. That was the big disco era. The Bee Gees were huge. I liked the Monkees. I always liked the Monkees when I was a kid. Yeah. But I kind of graduated out of the Monkees by the time I hit about 10 or 11. But yeah. Billy Idol was, yeah, I love Billy Idol, but that was more the 80s, White Wedding. I love White Wedding. Time for a white wedding. You got to Google Billy Idol today. I think he's one of those rockers like Peter Frampton. You wouldn't recognize him today. The Bee Gees, I couldn't stand the Bee Gees. I just went, please, I can't stand that falsetto singing. I don't know. I was interested in music, Teresa, in the 70s when I was a kid. And then I really had a big interest in it when I was in my 20s and I got really heavily into new wave. I was like a whole nother thing. You know, there was a lot of bands I liked as a kid growing up. I went to college, and then I started to get into really the music. We had some really cool radio stations in the DC area, and I was really, really into the British new wavy stuff, The Cure, Depeche Mode, New Order, the Smiths. I just got really big into that. So that was my kind of second music wave that hit me. Do I remember P.F. Sloan? No, I don't. I would like to see what Unstoppable Morgan would do if she had a Class C or a Class A RV. Yeah, it would be very interesting. I don't know, that beat up Bronco. Huh? She really milked that. Buzzcocks, yeah, I love them. The Headquarters album, yeah, I had that album. The Monkees, yeah. Monkees were good. I mean, you know, they weren't a great band. You know, the Beatles were musically brilliant. The Monkees were kind of cute and funny. They weren't really brilliant. I think the only real, you know, Mike Nesmith, I think, was the only real musician in the band. I think Peter Tork had a little bit. The other guys were just hired because, you know, Davy Jones could sing, of course, but and Mike has said that, you know, the band was kind of marketed by Don Kirshner, and he wanted them to be, you know, under his complete control, and they had a big fight, and then Don got his wish and had a formed the Archies, where it was a cartoon band and he could run them. Watch some of those documentaries. It's really interesting. Well, dear hearts, I got to scoot my daughter Vanessa on. Vanessa is on her way to help me paint the RV. I'll do a little video in a bit. All right, camp goer one, I'll give you a call later. Painting the RV. You got to do a video on that. We got to see you doing that. All right, take care. Please, I love CCR. That Heard It Through the Grapevine. Oh, man, that's great. Their cover of that was just brilliant. Janice Lala. Yeah, Men at Work. Yeah, they were pretty good. Land Down Under. Do. What was the band I liked more? Midnight Oil. I love Midnight Oil. I thought of Australian bands, Midnight Oil, I think. Or if you want to go to New Zealand, Split Ends and all their incarnations afterward. I love them too. My dad had a Miller's Brothers album. I don't remember the Miller Brothers. John Fogerty. Yeah, John had a huge feud with his record company. What was that record company he was on? I forget right now, but yeah. Psych Furs are one of my favorites too. Yeah. Love my way. Not too many artists sing with a British accent. You often hear these, like Rick Astley, they sing with, like, I'm gonna give you up. You know, they always kind of have that Americanized sound when they sing, but the Furs always, love my way. But Simple Minds, always loved Simple Minds. They were good too. You were in the Marines with Mike Nesmith's nephew. Wow, Ziggy. Wow, he looked just like him. Yeah, Mike was from Texas, wasn't he? And didn't his aunt or somebody invent that liquid paper that's, you know, back in typewriters? And he had a fortune. Jim Croce was good. I always liked Jim. The Oils, huh? Free to Travel. Yeah, I always liked Midnight Oil. We got to get it back. There's a great song. MCA. Elton John was on MCA. I always remember that. I think he called it More Chaos already. He said it was a very confusing record company to work for. You think the best movies were made prior to 1950? Writers largely came from radio and that's why I love Turner Classic Movies, Mark, Betty. I love Turner Classic Movies. That's just my favorite. The one thing I do miss about if I don't have television is having TCM, because I just love those old movies. And they are. I really think they're the best. Someone, Rick Roll, Dave. Whiteout. Yeah, remember that? And then you smell it. It was like one of those, like model glue. Had that really powerful, pungent chemical smell, and you kind of, yeah. Anyway. All right. We're going to kind of wind it down here. I do want to thank you very much, Mr. Rockford. Thank you very much, Brenda, for your kind donations. We'll be on this evening. Don't forget, 7 p.m. I got to check out, what's the Svengoolie movie? We got to see what the Svengoolie movie is today. Oh, the power just came back on. Ziggy. Great. You can watch the evening stream tonight on your Tiwi, right? Oh, I'm looking at some new videos here. Mr. Square Art has a new video. Got to go watch that. Yeah. All right, let's do the Svengoolie. Svengoolie, and tonight, it's tarantula. It's tarantula. If you have a fear of sin is unstable. Oh, that's wonderful. I don't care. Are we reconnecting? All right, everybody. Gunga Din. Yeah, I think I'll watch Tarantula. I think I'll watch Tarantula instead of Gunga Din. No Fear to Trek. All right, No Fear to Trek. You enjoy your rainy day up there in Portland. Portland's raining, and it's raining here. So, although I don't hear the rain right now, the interesting thing about living in this building used to be a textile mill, and they reconverted it to be apartments, loft apartments, back about 15 years ago. Okay, so somewhere around 2006 or so, 2005, they built them. Anyhow, we don't have an attic. Okay, we just have a wooden ceiling, a wooden roof, and then they have some sort of a plastic covering over that. Okay, I don't know. It's not a tar. It's a flat roof, but it's not one of those old tar roofs, that they have in a lot of old buildings. And it's a plastic. It's some plastic membrane up there, and it's very good. We've never had any leaks, knock on wood. But it does, when it rains, you really hear the rain. When it hits that plastic that tarpy thing up there, you really hear the rain. So even if it's very, very lightly raining, I can tell it's not raining right now. So, but when it rains hard, man, you got to turn the TV up, the radio up. You can't, it's hard to hear anything. Cary Grant as a kid in Gunga Din. Yeah, I've seen Gunga Din. I'm not real thrilled with that movie. I stumbled on a British World War II movie that I had not seen, The Gift Horse, with Richard Attenborough, Trevor Howard on Amazon Prime. Yeah, a lot of those old British movies I haven't seen before, and they're kind of fun. It's fun to kind of come upon an old movie that you've never heard of before and experience it kind of like it's new to you. The Brad NVB. I tried to paste some Rick Astley, and either you got a fast mod or YouTube wanted to have nothing. Yeah, you're not. I don't think they're going to let you post links. There's something about this chats where they don't let you post links on there. Tim Conway. Yeah, my dad was in the Army with Tim Conway at Fort Lewis in Washington. Did you know that? Oh, no, another Dave recap. Oh, man. Never going to give you up. That's right. Should rain through Thursday in the Willamette Valley. Well, that ought to put out any remaining fires, so I guess that's good news, right? Yeah, we're not getting any severe storms here. It's just rain. So, it's not a bad day. And hopefully, I don't think it's going to rain solidly all day, so I'll get out and get to do some more. As long as I can do an hour hike, I'm good. So anyway, all right. Brendan Clark. With the World War II movies, mainly guy movies, actually I got a lot of stuff on, so I don't have time to watch a lot of movies. I love comedians too, though I don't watch, so I watch them instead, Betty. Yeah. Again, there's so much media out there. I don't have time for it. I can do with YouTube, how many times I have in the day to watch, how much hours in the day. I watch too much YouTube as it is. Oh, Dave never watched. I do watch a hell of a lot of YouTube. And I'm good with just YouTube. I can pretty much satisfy all my wants and wishes with just YouTube. So I don't need 100 cable channels. I really don't. I just don't have time. What's my lunch? Day old subs or pizza. I was thinking about the pizza today. I don't know, I get in a rut. Saturday's pizza day, you know? It's like, you know, when you in college, you know, you went to the dining hall. Every day was a certain food. You knew that Thursday was Mexican and Friday was burgers and Saturday was pizza. And I don't know. I like that. I kind of, like that. Great weather in New Mexico. Not hot or cold. Bound or back roads. Yeah. Well, Kevin said that until the election happens, and it may not come out the way he's wanting it to. I don't know. But he's going to stay within 500 miles of his home base shack there somewhere in New Mexico. Mary is making a big pot of soup. Oh, some comfort food. Yeah. My mom would make these sub sandwiches, and they were pretty ordinary. They weren't they weren't fancy subs. They were just, she would get the lunch meat and put some cheese on them and make these little subs. And then she'd heat up a pot of really hot tomato soup. And that was my comfort food. I just loved taking those subs and dipping them in that really hot tomato soup. And it was like so deliciously glorious. Yeah, I miss my mom did that. She had some really good comfort food, and that was one of them. Yeah, mom's, I'm making some soup and tomato soup. And I'm making some subs and tomato soup. Or she called them hoagies because that's what you do if you're from Pennsylvania. But that was so cool. I'm looking forward to doing that when the weather turns cooler. It's still too hot here. Doing what? All right, Amanda Lee. Nice to see you here. Oh, yeah, making the big pot of soup. It's too hot for a pot of soup. All right. It's too hot for a pot. I'm a dunker. I do like to dunk stuff. I do. Sometimes I'll do that even with a sandwich. I'll put the mayo on the side in a little blop, and then don't put any mayo on the sandwich and just dip, or I'm a dipper. I like to just dip the sandwich in the mayo and eat it rather than put the mayo on the sandwich. Yeah. Well, I like lox and bagels. I like them a lot. Bagels are good. I just, I don't know. It's just, it's not something I normally buy. Spicy sausage, says Herman Butternuts. Bring him comfort. Ooh. Use my George Foreman grill to cook 4 patties, cut up the bite-sized pieces, and then pour Bush's Steakhouse recipe baked beans all over them. Ooh, that sounds good. Bush's. Yeah, they used to have that talking dog. They still have the talking dog. They used to have Bush's baked beans, and the guy would talk to the dog, and then the dog would say something. I always liked those ads. Homemade chili. Yeah. I like one of my favorite foods at the Panera is their chili. They have some really good chili there. And they have a turkey chili that's supposed to be healthier for you. I don't know. I love their chili. Oh, yeah. Tomato bisque. Yeah, it has a little bit more of a thicky thing to it. Tomato bisque is really good soup. Yeah. The other thing you got to remember when you have a beard like mine is you do not want to eat any kind of gloppy soup. Like any kind of thick. What is it? Certain bean soups have some real gloppy soups. Yeah, you got to be real careful. Paul Barger 2? Is that Paul? Same as Paul Barger 1? I do keep in touch with RV Davey on a quasi basis. He's had a lot of health issues. He's a very colorful character, and I know Linda, Camp Goer 1, does keep in touch with RV Davey. She's had a few interesting run-ins with him. I hope he's okay. Okay, I know he's got some issues. If you're watching RV Davey, all of our best wishes go out to you, and I hope you feel better soon. Yeah, I've heard we know about RV Davey. Is Paul Barger 2 the same as Paul Barger 1? the bread truck guy? Man. I'm trying to make a couple of Boca burgers in the air fryer now. Wow. I did buy some Boca burgers. Maybe I should do another mukbang with them. And I'm not impressed with them. I never liked Boca burgers. I don't know. They're never not as good as those Morningstar Farms burgers. Lobster bisque is good. It's got a lot of salt in it, though. It's very salty soup. I bet he's going to have eggs and bacon. Oh, yeah. One thing my parents did every Saturday morning, they didn't cook breakfast much, But on Saturday, they always did. Dad and Mom always made a big breakfast on Saturday mornings, bacon and eggs and sausages and sometimes Canadian bacon, and it was good. It was always good. Dad, you always knew it was Saturday morning because Dad was down in the kitchen. He didn't cook much except for he did the backyard grill, and then he did the Saturday morning bacon and eggs. That was pretty much Dad's cooking. All right, everybody, it's 11 o'clock. I'm going to pull the plug on this. Thank you so much for watching. Thanks again to Brenda and to Rockford for your kind donations. And we will see you tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern. That's 4 p.m. on the West Coast. And we will do another hour there with our adult beverages and get ready for Tarantula on MeTV Spenguli. All right, everybody. So everybody, thank you so much for being here. California Gumbo, nice to see you here. Sue, Kelly, Betty, No Fear to Trek. Mark, always good to see you here. Briar Rose, Bounder Back Roads, Tazmod, Tazzy Poo. All right, everybody, we'll give you an update on Tanky Poo, the world's friendliest pit bull, as soon as we hear I don't think we're going to hear this weekend anything, but, dogs get those funny lumpy things down here. We had a Cocker Spaniel that had those in there, usually pretty harmless, but hopefully Tanky Poo will be fine. So he looks pretty good. He's lost some weight. He's on the canine keto diet. All right, everybody. Tambourine. Yes, he did play the tambourine. That's right. Davy Jones of the Monkees. Rest in peace. All right, folks. Thank you so much for watching. You have a wonderful rest of your Saturday. Hope you stay dry if you're here in the Carolinas or Tennessee or Alabama or Mississippi. And we'll talk to you at 7 p.m. tonight. Vlog under.